Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and an entertaining puzzle today. But first, I want to show you some gifts we got. Now, Simon's already shown photos of these, but I've got the actual gifts. So these Sudoku Rubik's Cubes, you'll note there are 9 colours on each face, although you may be able to see there are actually differences between the 2 cubes. Thank you very much to Darcy for sending those to us through the mail. And I tend to agree with your assessment that they're fun to look at, but might be just literally impossible to solve. So proceed with caution. And then Epsilon also sent us this unbelievable chocolate teapot. I mean, that is fantastic. Simon has expressed a strong preference to eat it. So I will be taking it to him today because I think we're meeting up for the first time in quite a long time. Thank you very much. People don't often send us stuff through the snail mail. There is an address in the description field, but we're very grateful to Epsilon and Darcy. And we're very sorry that Michael Pitra's cake, if that's what he sent, something edible, never turned up. It just didn't. Don't know why. Very disappointing. But then I guess if it was cake, that might not get through customs and the postal service. No idea. Anyway, there we go. That's what's going on in snail mail and in Simon and Mark meeting news, which is a rare heading here. Now, what else is going on Patreon? Of course, we've still got a week left on the Alice in Sudoku Land hunt. Do check it out. Brilliant Japanese sum Sudoku. We've got all sorts of crosswords on the channel. We've got our merchandise and all our apps. Check out the description field. Do. Now, this puzzle came from Luda3, which I think is Latin for games or something, or playful. Anyway, it's a 159 bullseye, and much as, just like Simon, who mentioned it the other day, not brilliant at these 159 puzzles, still they do provide some very entertaining logic, particularly when combined with other rule sets. I was really fascinated by the German Whispers 159 that Simon did yesterday or the day before, I can't remember now. But we'll see how it combines with renban in this case, because we have normal Sudoku rules apply. So that's the numbers 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, the 159 rules are that each digit in the grey cells indicates the column location of the numbers 1, 5, and 9 in that row. So in this row, whatever number in here shows the column where the number 1 goes. So if that was a 7, there'd be a 1 here. This one might be a 3, which would put a 5 in column 3. This one might be a 9, and that's perfectly fine, self-referential. It's saying that 9 is in its own column 9. So this column will always refer to the digit 1, this column always to the digit 5, and this column always to the digit 9. So that's how these 159 rules work. Now, we have some X-sum clues outside the grid, and these show the sum of the first n digits in the respective row or column from the direction of the clue where n is the first digit. So if that was a 5, this is saying that the first 5 digits in this row add up to the clue, which is 20. And similarly, if this was a 6, this is saying the first 6 digits from this end add up to 30. Same for these columns. Those might add up to 18 and those to 19 or something, depending on what the n number is. And finally, the renban lines, digits along a purple renban line form a consecutive set in any order. So we might have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this one, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they could be in any order. So those are the rules. Do give it a try on the link under the video. You can check the video length to find out how hard it is, although yesterday would have been no guide, as I took 40 minutes over a 20-minute puzzle after making a mistake in it, and Then managed to compound the mistake by not putting up the puzzle link for 5 minutes after the video went live. So sorry about that. Mistakes do happen. They'll probably happen today. That's the way we roll. But I'm going to give it a go now and see how we get on with 159 Bullseye. Let's get cracking. Okay, so forget the renbans. Forget the 159 clues. Let's use the X sum clues. Okay, and this looks a very relevant column. So what digit can this be? 18 in how many cells? Well, it can't be as many as 6, because the minimum value of 6 totally different digits added together is 21. So this is less than 6. It obviously can't be 2. Can it be 3? Well, it can. These would have to add up to 15. Can it be 4? Yes, these would add up to 14. And if it was 5, these would add up to 13. Okay, let's look down the bottom, compare and contrast with the ends of the column. Now again, I think 3, 4, 5 are possible, and I don't see how, 6 is too many for the same reason. 21 would be the minimum for 6. Now, okay, I've remembered a really, really, really important rule about 159 Sudoku that is very non-intuitive, and I think the first time I did the 159 puzzle, I didn't know this rule, and people pointed it out in the solutions, and I went, or in the comments, and I went, oh, that's very clever. And then the second time I did a 159 puzzle, I'd forgotten that and still didn't use it. Since then, I do remember it. And it is this, that each group of these 3 cells will contain 1 low digit, 1 medium digit, and 1 high digit. And I'm calling the low digits 1, 2, 3, the middly digits 4, 5, 6, and the high digits 7, 8, 9. And the reason for that, and the same goes for this group of 3, this group of 3, this group of 3, and this group of 3, this group of 3, this group of 3. The reason for that is, if you had a 2 here, say, that would put a 1 in this cell. And now 1 is ruled out of all of these cells by Sudoku. And that's going to stop these being other low digits, 1 or 3. So it's a very simple idea, but it can be very relevant. And I wonder if we can apply it here. If that was a 3, these add up to 50. Yes, look, it is perfect for this. If this was a 3, this all goes wrong, because these numbers have to add up to 16 to make this sum of 3 digits make 19. They would have to be 9 and 7. And that would either put a 5 here and a 5 here, both in the same box, or alternatively there and there. So that will not work, and that is not what happens. This is not a 3. Now, you don't think that's a huge breakthrough, but actually it is useful. And it is useful for another reason that I've just discovered, that one of these 2 has to be a 3. And the reason for that, it's a lovely X sums region. If this wasn't a 3 now, then this would be a 4-5 pair by Sudoku. That would mean that we were adding all the digits in the column together to get 18 and 19, 4 from the top and 5 from the bottom, or the other way round. And that would require all of those digits to add up to 37. And some of you are in on a secret which tells you that that is not the case. We tell all of our favourite friends that there is a secret about Sudoku, that every row, column and box, indeed every group of cells that has to include the digits 1 to 9 always adds up to the same total. And it's not 37, it's 45. So this must not be a 4 or 5, and therefore that is a 3. And therefore these 2 do add up to 15. And let's go back to the 159 rule. They can't be from the same modular set. They can't both be from the high digits. So they're not 7 and 8. They're 6 and 9. And now this 3 is telling us that there's a 5 in column 3. This 6 and 9 are telling us that there are a 5 in these 2 rows in column 6 and column 9. And the 5 over here is telling us there's a 9 in column 5. Okay, these digits sometimes pair up. So I don't think I can do more than that at the moment. Maybe I can think about whether this is a 4 or a 5. Now, what are the outies? If this is a 5, then all of those cells are being added in the 18 plus 19 equals 37 total. The outies must add to the difference between that 37 and 45, the magic number. So if this is a 5, that's an 8. If this is a 4, we're adding those cells and those cells to get to 37. These 2 add up to 8, and they can't involve a 3 or a 6. They would be a 1-7 pair. So this is always a 1-7 or an 8, which is not very helpful in the 159 rules. Now, renban. Ah, no, I'll tell you, that is helpful. Renban. Look at this. Okay, one thing I know about a 6-cell renban line is that there are some digits it has to have on it. It could have any of the Sudoku digits on it, but it must have 4, 5, and 6 on it. And the reason for that is because the minimum set of 6 renban digits is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The maximum is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any group includes 4, 5, and 6. So we know there's a 5 on this line. And 5 is now ruled out of these cells by that 5. It can't be in there because of the 159 rules. And we've actually just discovered this can't be a 5 because the 5 in this row, I thought this 1, 7 or 8 was useless. It's absolutely not. The 5 in this row can only go there or there or there. Not here. So that's not a 5. The 5 on this renban line is now here. And that means this is a 6 to place that 5 there. This is now a 9. That's going to give us this 5. And those have been fulfilled, those clues. And look, we get this 3, 6, 9 triple all done. And what about this renban then? It needs, now it's got a 9 on. It needs 4, 6, 7, and 8 in the other cells. And I could pencil mark those. I thought this 6 was going to see lots of those, but it only sees that one in row 2, column 2. This is saying that there's a 1 in one of those cells, which is frankly not very informative now. And we're going to have to look elsewhere for clues. We've kind of, I don't know, I feel like we might have exhausted this column. 1 and 7 would be fine. Yes, if this, actually, let's just think a bit further. If this was a 4 and that was a 1-7 pair of outies, then they need a middly digit with them, which would be here, which would be 5. So 5 is either there or there in this column. If that's a 5 and that's an 8, the middly digit in here is a 4. And that's putting 5 in one of those cells. I don't know. Okay, let's look at this middle row, 20 and 30. Now these are a slightly less helpful pair of numbers, although actually 20, I think we can again write 3, 4, 5. You could have a 3 and a 9, 8 pair, except you couldn't for the 159 rules. Yeah, that's nice. So this can't be a 3 because they would be 9 and 8, but by 159 rules, the 3 requires a 1 there. So then you can't get the sum up to 20. So that's not 3. This is 4 or 5. It can't be 6 because they must add up to at least 21. It's 4 or 5, and we've now got a 1 in one of those two positions. So that's not a 1. So this is a 7 or 8, putting a 5 in one of those two positions. Oh, if that was a 4, there'd be a 1 here. It would be in the X sum, and those would add up to 15. Okay, don't know. What about this cell? Now, this can't be 3, obviously. Can't even be 4, because the only way to make 4 digits add up to 30 is with 9, 8, 7, 6, and they don't include the first digit being a 4. It can't be a 5 now, so this is 6 or 7. I'll tell you why it can't be an 8. Because the outies for the 30 clue add up to 15. Ah! So it can't be just that cell being an 8. in fact, it can't be a 7, because then these two outies would add up to 15, because that's 45 minus 30. And they can't add up to 15, because that's 4 or 5. This would have to be 10 or 11. So that is a 6. That is I'm going to use the 159 rule now to put a 9 there. Now, let's go back to x sums. These add up to 30. So these add up to 15. And if that was a 4, this couldn't be a 1. Because if those add up to 15, yeah, if that was a 4, by the 159 rule, that would be a 1. But by the x sum rule, you'd be adding 15 plus 1 to get to 20, which does not work. So that's not a 4. That's now a 5. Now there's an overlap. In this column, we had an underlap. In fact, we do have an underlap, either in 1 cell or 2 cells, making 8. In this row, we have an overlap, because we're adding those 5 cells on the left, those 6 cells on the right, and these 2 cells, which include a 1, are an overlap of 20 plus 30 minus 45. So they're a 1 and a 4. I won't insult you by doing that maths. So that's not a 4. We've got a 1 or a 4 here, but actually, sorry, the 159 rule makes it very clear which way round they are. That 5 puts a 1 here. So that's a 4. This group of cells adds up to 20, and we've got 10 of them. These add up to 10. Oh, bother. They're either 2, 8 or 3, 7, and I don't know which. Same over here, 10, 20, yep, they add up to 10, and they're the other set. Right, now what? Because I've kind of used all the x sum clues. Can I finish this one off? No, actually I can't. If that's a 4, that's a 7 as part of the 8 outies, and if that's a 5, that's an 8. But it hasn't been resolved. This renban has not been resolved. I know 4's in one of those cells, and that's really very minimal information. So let's look at this renban, which is a bit longer. Oh yeah, it needs a 5 on it, because a 5 cell renban must have a 5 on it. You can work that out. And there's a 5 in one of those 2 cells, so none of these cells are a 5. There's a 5 there, so that's not a 5, so we can place the 5. That is going to be referenced by this cell. It's in column 8 in this row. There we go. That fixes this as a 7. Now the outies are 2 cells, so we're adding 4 to get to 19. That 4 tells me there's a 5 here. That 7 tells me there's a 5 here. Mustn't forget to do all the indexing I can do. Now I've got a 5 here by sudoku, so that's a 2. And this one is a 5, a self-referential 5. And that's all the 5s in the grid now. Now, that was useful, but did it... Ah, look, yes, this 6... Yes, perfect. This 6 sees all these other renban cells on the line, so there's no 6 on it. Once there's no 6 on a 5-cell renban line, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 2 or 3, and that's not. These other cells are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what's that doing for 9s? It's saying there's a 9 somewhere there. Well, it's not in column 4, so that 9 is in 1, 2, or 3, and I'll come back and look at that in a moment. That's quite interesting. There can't be a 9 in column 4 here either, because that would be there in a box with another 9. So that's a 1, 2, 3 set. Oops, and on the renban that's a 4, and that's going to give us a 9 in column 4 here. I like this. This 159 variant suits me a lot more than most. Now, what's going on this renban, which doesn't have 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, or 4 in that cell? So that is 7, 8, or 9. But this cell by the 159 rule is saying there's a 9 in column 7, 8, or 9 in that row. Well, it's not in column 7. It's in one of these 2 cells, and actually sudoku would have told me that. So there's a 9 on this renban, and therefore this renban is 7, 8, and 9. Now I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple there, and that's a 4. This one is saying there's a 9 in one of those cells. Well, it can't be in column 8. So there is an 8 here. Something's wrong here. No, that could be a 7. No, this can't be a 7. Because one of these is a 9. We also know one of them's an 8. Ugh. There we go. So it's a 9-8 pair. That's the 7 on the renban. That's putting a 9 here by 159. And this doesn't decide whether 9 goes in column 8 or 9. That's weird. Now, let's remember the modular rule on 159s. This has to be a low digit, 1, 2, or 3. Putting a 9 somewhere over here. Ooh, another renban over there. We'll look at that and that one in a moment. Up here, one of them is 8 or 9 and one of them is low. Okay, that's not quite as helpful as I was hoping. Right, let's look at this one maybe first. Now, is 9 on the renban? Then that's 8 or 7. Then these two would have to be 9 and 8. No, oh, yeah, that could be 9 and put a 1 here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, this can't be 7 anymore. That's now 6 or 8. Oh, hang on. 5, 9, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, that's all right. Okay. Oh, hang on. Look, 4. 4 can't be on this renban. That's more important. So, 4's in one of those cells. Now, this renban has 4 different digits that don't include a 4 or a 5. This has to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 renban. So, 9's on the bottom side. These are from 6, 7, or 8 up here. The 1, these two have to be of different modularity. 1 can be from the middly digits and is therefore 6. And the other one is higher. So one of those is a 6, putting a 1 in one of these cells. That's not a 6 now, that's 7 or 8. So this is going to be a middly digit and a high digit. This is going to have to be a low digit, not a 4, putting a 1 in one of these 3 cells. In fact, there's also a 2 and a 4 in those cells because 2 and 4 can't go there. So this is now a 1, 2, 4 triple. That can't be 4. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9 renban, so that's a 3 by elimination. That's not a 3, so the 9 in this row, oh, I knew that anyway, is in 1 or 2. Got that 9, I've got that 5. This is saying that 1 is in 6, 7, or 8. This is saying that 1 is somewhere there. Okay. This is a 3, 6 pair just by sudoku. Let's not forget sudoku. It's a useful tool. 1 and 7 can go in there. Oh, I'm not really getting it done. Those have to add to 10. Those have to add to 10. That can't be a 3 anymore. Ah! Because that can't be a 3 because of that, I've taken 7 out of this cell, and suddenly 7 can't be on this renban, so 9 can't be on it either, and now we know where 9 is in that set of 3, and that is referenced by a 2 over here, which lets me finish that group of cells. This is referring to where the 1 is, which is either in column 1 or column 3. Wow, so this is a very low renban. That must be a low number. This is not, this is a high number therefore. In fact, we got that 3, so we can do this sum of 10 here. That must be 8, 2. One of these is a 1 for the row, so this must be a 1, 2, 3 renban. It doesn't actually resolve as far as I can see which way round they go, but gives me a 4, 6, 7 triple here, but this can't be 4 or 6 because it's in the same modularity as that. And in fact, we've got the 1, so that's a 7. 7, 4, 6, 1, 5, 9. This is a 2, 3 pair. This is 6 or 8. I probably have got ways of... Now that's 1 or 2. That's putting a 1 in one of those two, not there. Now, this renban, we've kind of attacked all of the clues now. 7 can't be in these cells, which are 6 and 8 or 9. So there's not a 1 in those, which actually I could have known a different way. Oh, look, I've got a 2 there. That's a 1 in the corner. Perfect. 7, 1. It does sudoku. It does 159 logic. That's now a 7. That's an 8. This is coming now. So this is a 3-8 pair. We can do them. This is a 2-6. Oh, that's a 2-6 pair, which I can't resolve. This now is resolved by sudoku. So up here we've got a 3 and a 9. I can fill them in. They tell me where the 9s are. One is already placed. The other is there. So I've just got the 1s to finish off. Have I put all the 9s in the grid? Because yes, I've been told where they all are. Now where do the 1s go? 9, 6 and 1 or 2, 7, 5 and 1 or 3. So 4 and 8 are in these cells for this column. So they're not in that cell, which is a 7, or in this one, which is now a 6. This is not 6 or 7. So these are from 4, 8, 1 and 2. 4 and 8 need a 1 in somewhere. They certainly do. Oh, let's have a look at this renban. Yes, that's become an 8. That's become a 4. That's going to give us 1 here. There's no 4. There must be an 8. So one of those is a 1. And then there's a 1 somewhere here. I don't know what to do with that. So that renban's done. All of the renbans are done apart from this one, which I think can go either way round. Let's do sudoku. 4, 8 pair go in there. In fact, we know the order. 2, 7 pair, finish the box. That's going to let us do 3 and 2, 3 and 6. All of columns 4, 5, 6 are done now. In this row we need a 3, that's there. This is a 2, 7 pair. In this row we need 1, 4 and 8 still. So that's a naked 1. That makes that an 8, and that's the correct reference. So we get a 4 there. This is a 6, 8 pair, which just get filled in. This is a 1, 2 pair. I still don't know the order. I probably should do. Let's just finish off 2 and 6. That's not a 2. Oh, 6 and 4 are done. 4 and 6. That can't be a 4. So that's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 4. We can do the rest by sudoku. And there we go. That's a lovely puzzle. That's not... Oh, why I've done something wrong. I didn't get a tick. Yes, I have filled that in as an 8 when it's clearly a 6. Let's try that. There we go. So that is the solution. I mean, that's a much more minor mistake compared to yesterday, thank goodness, and happened very late on. There we go. Brilliant. Thanks, Luda3. Thank you for watching on the channel as always. Hope to see you again soon. And I'll say bye for now.